Nelson High. You're smoking some of the best dope God ever put around here.
I used to be able to skip the intro and just go ahead and go live, but now that I have the vertical stream, it won't let me do that. Like, the intro keeps playing. So even if I'm ready to go, I gotta sit through the whole 5 minutes. I feel like you should buy me the cameo and get her to be my GOP mommy. That's what the stream should do for me.
Come on now.
At least I really like the song. Maybe my favorite song I've used for this intro. I wake up singing it in my head, or humming it, or whatever. No words to sing. I'll be like, do, 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 do. Empty in the litter box and shit.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
You
and
shut
top
up,
stories.
Lester.
You live in sexual anarchy.
This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Curiouser asked me one time what the deal was with the mouth on the laughing troll, and I'm like, that's the dude from The Office's mouth in the laughing meme. And she's like, oh! I don't even remember his name, the dude that spills the chili. Thread, good evening. Congratulations on the new gig, by the way. Holiday, good to see you, my friend. I've been worried about you. I gave you my number and all of a sudden I started getting weird shit. I'm not blaming you, but it was kind of coincidental here. I don't think any of it is the reason I gave you the number. But yeah, I've gotten Credit Genie Afterpay. Some kind of PayPal reset my thing. I'm like, there's no. I'm sorry. I wish you were on fucking Discord and then I didn't have to send you shit in that chat. God damn it, Holiday. I didn't even think about that. But once again, that could have been it. That very well could have been it, Holiday. That might have been what hit me with the spam. I didn't even think about that. But once again, I don't use that. That's my actual cell phone, and I don't use that number. So, light one up, tip one back. I'm probably the only person that doesn't use their actual cell phone. I route my calls through my VoIP, my VoIP. After I lost the number that I had for 15 years, I'm like, well, that ain't going to happen to me again. I got the VoIP. And then fuck whatever cell phone number I've got. I just use that same number. And I've gotten to where, like, if I have to put in a phone number for things, I use the Troll Patrol number now. Ouch, that would hurt. It's a Google number. That's as anti-big tech as I am, I'm pretty attached to the Google. And I make fun of people for being on the Apple ecosystem. Ecosystem is what you would call it. But like I'm stuck in the Google ecosystem. I've had the same Gmail and the Gmail accounts attached to everything. I log in with everything through my Gmail with my fucking number I've had or my email I've had for fucking 20 years at this point. Trump got a new wig, you say. Is he showing it off during his speech in Las Vegas? Motherfucker is hitting the campaign trail if you guys haven't noticed. As he's not running for office now, he is stumping for candidates. This is the candidate he's actually stumping for in Las Vegas right now.
About here in the last 4 hours. He cares about America, right?
He's talking about Trump. Oh God, his hair does look fuller.
You know, quite often when the press and the media runs them down,
What did they do to it?
they think about, you know, he's taking care of his billionaire friends. But those billionaire friends provide jobs. And unless you take
Well, he is taking care of his billionaire friends, but you plebes should be happy about it.
the ability to hand out infinite amounts of money. That's not how economies work. That's why they're
It looks a lot fuller than it did
but
just a few days
change
ago.
that whole mindset. And America is that much greater because of his efforts.
Transplant? Toupee? What are we thinking here?
And it's not lost on me, no tax on tips benefits more people in the state of Nevada than anywhere else in the United States.
I have no idea who this guy is.
So when people talk to me about Donald Trump, I'm proud to say he loves Nevada.
He made a lot of money. Laundering for the Russians in Nevada.
There you go. So I'm going to leave you with this. Remember,
I hate our tipping system, period. I know tax on tips is one of those things that sounds good.
Thank you.
It's probably fucking the little guy over somehow.
Thanks very much, Joe. And thanks to all of the true warriors. And I tell you, we have
This is live.
Adriana Guzman Freilich, your candidate for Attorney General, is doing fantastically well. Thank you, Adriana. A very special man. I wish you'd get him in office because he's incredible. I've known him so long, and he's got to get in. He just has to. He had a big victory, just a really big victory with spending very little money because everyone respects him. Jim Marchant, he's a candidate for Secretary of State. David Flippo, candidate for Congress, who's doing really
It's still a wild comb over we got going there.
Marty O'Donnell,
The
candidate for
comb over and the floof around. They've added something to it, right? You know, a weave.
Thank you, Marty. Good job. State Senator Carrie Buck, candidate for Congress. Thank you, Carrie.
I think this part is a piece.
The CEO and chairman of Red Rock Resorts, Frank Fertitta, and his brother Lorenzo. They are amazing. And their families are incredible. Beautiful family. Perfect. They have perfect everything. They have beautiful families, I can tell you. And my really good friend who I mentioned before, Phil Ruffin, and his incredible wife, Alexandra. Please stand up, Phil. And a handsome actor named Dean Cain, who's been with us from the beginning. Right from the beginning, Dean. Thank you, Dean. And a Las Vegas icon, and he's a big television sensation. His show went on, it did great. Rick Harrison. Rick, thank you. Been a long time, too. And a friend of mine, and he was with me in good times and bad times, and I've been with him in good times and bad times. But he's a fantastic person. I actually went to his Broadway show, and everybody smiled at him doing a Broadway show, and he was actually fantastic. I've seen a lot of Broadway shows, and he was fantastic. The legendary Mike Tyson. Thank you, Mike.
So it's kind of subtle. They've made it thicker on top.
Thank you both for being here. Under the Trump administration, Nevada is prospering. Again, you're prospering like you haven't.
I believe this
Many years.
picture is from back in March.
Again, because we're once again putting America first. It's very simple. We're putting our country first. Every single day, we're liberating our communities from the scourge of migrant crime. You saw what happened last week in Spain, where 60,000
Like, I'm not
migrants
imagining this, am
the
I?
border, invaded and occupied the town, attacked innocent citizens.
It's more than die. There's a weave
That's
there.
what communists.
There's something supplementing this area.
As bad as that looked, and it looked bad, what they did to us during
This
Biden,
picture was from back in March.
And they
The
wanted-
one on the bottom.
they want to do it again.
The video you were seeing is live in Las Vegas currently.
Let it happen. And so important. And again, we have the strongest border in the history of our country. But right here in Las Vegas, ICE recently arrested an illegal migrant who brutally stabbed and tried to murder his two roommates. He was violent. In Lyon County, ICE arrested an illegal alien convicted of 2 counts.
Yeah, I need to start making some money because if I want hair on the top of my, if I want to.
Almost didn't, and they are great. They are law enforcement. We have to have a hand for law enforcement.
One, not be bald up here. If I want to get in on this shit, now's like the time.
They said this was so bad They almost didn't know what to do.
There's no reason for me to just give into it and be bald. No. I should absolutely, like, they are working wonders with men's hair nowadays.
We will always stand strong with.
I need to take advantage of this and get myself some new fucking hair. Because I like my hair.
Kicking all of these millions of illegal aliens.
My ass hair is so fucking thick.
And it's part of the war on fraud led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance. He's doing a great job.
My ass hair probably been thicker than my head hair's ever been.
Aliens go home. The cost of rent, groceries, and other staples is coming down very fast.
They have made wonderful advancements in male pattern baldness, and I need to get in on this shit and get myself some hair.
First day, the press said, "What are you going to do about affordability?" It was a word they devised, affordability.
Yeah, I want some of that gender-affirming care.
They said eggs
Princess Kimberly.
are way too high.
Gender fluid. Thread. Soup.
Administration. I said,
Avalon. Red wine.
I
Flow.
was there one day.
DJ Dub.
Election.
Warlord.
It was January 21st, one day after I gave one day where I didn't do a press conference. Biden would go a whole year without doing a press conference for obvious.
He didn't.
For very obvious reasons. But we've been bringing down prices, and as soon as this situation ends with the rent,
We saw Biden
down to the floor
every day, every other day, pretty much.
we will have complete
Seriously, I cover this
period of
shit.
time. That is a miracle. But remember, we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. You got to remember that. And we took it over. What a mess it was. And we're bringing down prices, and we brought down prices, and nobody can believe what's going on. And when oil goes down, and it's going to go down very rapidly, and it's happening very soon, already happening if you look. Today it's $75.
He would wander out and do his goofy little wave at some
And
fucking
we may have to send it up again.
meeting where they
may have
had
to
business
know what
people
happens
sitting
when we
around a
send it up,
table.
We hope we don't have to. But when that oil and gasoline go down, everything else follows. But we've done a great job in reducing prices, and we've done an unbelievable job in making our country really, really respected and successful again. But under my
Did he say the old prices are coming down line?
policy on drug prices,
The country's hot, hot, hot.
delivering the largest prescription
I mean, he ain't wrong on that.
history of our
A good chunk of the country is on fire right now,
differences
so.
of 400, 500, and 600%. You know, my first term, I was in
Oh my God, we're throwing around
over a
percentages like
It
600%.
came down a little bit from January to the end of December. And I'll tell you how much it came down. 1/8 of a percent. Now you hear price differences of
Well, Stevie Wonder can see, Thread.
700%. That alone should win us.
So, like, Bush waving at him wasn't that big of a deal. Because, like, Stevie could probably make out that he was waving at him. Stevie got, like, fucking 20, 30% vision or some shit
we
like
had the
that.
highest prices for
Like,
prescription.
he ain't fully blind. People, like, they'll point to, like, he grabs a microphone stand that falls one time. Like, yeah, he's got some vision.
President of the United States.
Because there was the whole thing about, like, oh, it's a conspiracy. Stevie's not really blind. No, he's just
We've turned
mostly
this country
blind.
Completely around. Our border is secure. Jobs are up. Inflation is down. Investment is pouring in like never before. Factories are opening. Our military is more powerful.
We
than it has
shouldn't
ever been. America is back.
shit on a guy just because he's not
Victories are
entirely
still to come.
blind or
We
make
are
jokes
having
about,
victory.
isn't it funny that Bush waved at him? That's demeaning to Stevie.
And with the help of our
I'm
Republican
fucking with
majorities
you.
in Congress, we will crush violent crime, impose harsh.
I'm just busting your balls. I don't give a shit one way or the other.
Crack down on Marxist prosecutors and rogue.
Marxist prosecutors.
A horror show for our.
Prosecutors that believe in public ownership of the means of production.
Probably started this big crime.
I'm a Stevie
No
truther.
cash bail. No cash bail. We will pass the Great Health Care Plan. It's called the Great Health Care Plan. To stop all payments to big insurance companies and give the money directly to the people. They give billions and billions of dollars because the big health insurance companies and insurance companies, they're totally controlled by the Democrats. We want to give the money not to the insurance companies, but to the people, and you go out and you...
One time, I was at the Kentucky State Fair, and they had Ronnie McDowell. Ronnie McDowell did a song on the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. That's his claim to fame. He had like another song that charted or some shit. I'm like 20, 21 or something at the time. I'm interviewing Ronnie McDowell for the local radio. And I called that motherfucker Ronnie Millsap, who was a blind black man. I called this white... I don't even know where Millsap is from. He's some southern boy, I think. I don't know. He might be from California for all I fucking know. But totally doesn't look anything like Ronnie Millsap. It's just Ronnie in my head. He was very indignant about it. I bet Ronnie McDowell's dead now. Let's find out. Motherfucker is he's still kicking. No way. Can I scroll over on this browser? He's 76 years old, from Portland, Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee. I don't know where fucking Portland, Tennessee is. Most certainly does not look like a blind black man. Was it racist of me to turn comments about Stevie Wonder, one blind black man, into a story about another blind black man that I knew, that my mind made that connection like that? That was fucking racist of me. Cancel Justin. I don't know how we're at the point to where, like, possible assassination attempt just like didn't even really penetrate the news, did it? We have a man arrested near Trump's golf course in California, which he was flying into California yesterday. I don't know if Trump was there when the man was on the premises.
A man arrested outside the Trump National Golf Course in Los Angeles is facing federal weapons charges. This happened 2 days before the president's planned visit. Investigators say Janine John Tail was taken into custody during a security check ahead of President Trump's arrival. This is according to prosecutors. A loaded gun was in his pickup truck. Mr. Trump responded to the arrest for the first time last night on Fox News.
Well, the only thing I get a little solace from is they say only consequential presidents. And I am definitely consequential. I mean, if you look at the economy, if you look at what's happening, Iran, as an example, will never have a nuclear weapon.
CBS News.
So this is now like the fourth time I've heard him brag about people trying to assassinate him. That's pretty funny. I'm consequential, so it's cool.
News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi joins us now from our DC bureau with more on this investigation. Olivia, good morning. Many viewers may not be aware that this even happened. What do we know?
Yeah, good morning, Errol. This arrest actually came several days before the president had made his way out to Los Angeles. In a press release, the LA County did note that this individual is now charged with possession of an unregistered short-barreled rifle, which is a felony, and it can carry a maximum sentence of up to 10 years. So how did they arrive at this? Well, they said that on July 31st, authorities were scoping out the golf club to make sure it was...
Yeah, and to be fair, Obama did have a lot of shit like this where they caught somebody with a gun, blah blah blah, miles away from wherever the president was. Trump is the only one in recent memory to have close to successful attempts. I don't know if there were more with Obama. I feel like it's just a thing with any president that there's a constant flow of nut jobs that most never make it anywhere close.
Safe for the president's arrival, and they noticed this individual. They say he was allegedly walking throughout the golf course. He was wearing an earpiece, and he was taking photographs and also video of the security planned activities in the region. That happened on Friday. Then they said 2 days later, he returned to the golf course, allegedly. They said that golf staff had notified the federal officials that this individual had returned, and he said allegedly to federal agents that he was working for the State Department and he was looking for the security detail. Then he admitted allegedly to having a loaded firearm in his car, and they arrested him for having munitions as well as this firearm. So we don't know a motive yet. He is expected in court today in Los Angeles. So just the latest, though, in security incidents surrounding the president. I'm thinking back to the White House Correspondents' Dinner and that foiled plot later in the summer.
Well, we did have that one that they originally called an attempt.
UFC event. So,
and it was actually a dude that was a supporter, and he was like, "I'm a sovereign citizen. I have a right to carry my gun here. I love President Trump."
Golf course grounds and
something Second Amendment
at the security detail there. So we're waiting to.
So you can't ever rule out that possibility.
Very disturbing. Olivia, thank you for sharing the details. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know that it was disturbing. Trump also apparently had a problem with his helicopter. FAA says it is investigating an incident with Trump's helicopter.
Right now, we are getting a look at new video showing what the FAA is calling a safety incident involving a helicopter carrying President Donald Trump Marine One. You can see a commercial flight in the top right of your screen. They're taking off from Reagan National Airport. This was yesterday. Then about seconds later, 10 seconds later, the president's helicopter, Marine One, appears to fly in the vicinity. The FAA, however, says this does not appear to be a close call. NBC News senior correspondent Tom Costello following it all from our D.C. bureau. Tom, the White House says the president was...
Apparently it wasn't a close call. But that wasn't supposed to happen. They're not supposed to be that close in airspace. It could have been a close call, or what does George Carlin call it? A near hit. It's what happens when you cut federal staff. It might come back to bite them in the ass.
Never in harm's way. What are the safety protocols for Reagan Airport, though? Because it does look pretty close, or anywhere else for that matter, when the president's helicopter is nearby.
You know, Sam, I got to tell you, I don't think the video does show that they were that close. And the video clearly shows that they were not converging, but they were not complying with FAA regs because there should have been 1.5 mile separation. But really, what's supposed to happen is that the traffic at Reagan National should have been halted when Marine One carrying the president lifted off from the White House. So that didn't happen. And the investigation right now is looking into why exactly that failure to stop the traffic at Reagan didn't happen.
Why would they need to halt it? Why wouldn't the helicopter just take a path that wouldn't be in...
Marine One flights are piloted by some of the best aviators in the world, and at no point was the president in harm's way. I can tell you that the FAA also tells us that there was a momentary loss of separation. Let me define that for you. After which the aircraft continued to move away from one another. The controller was in contact with both the commercial pilot and the Marine pilot during the loss of separation. As the White House has said, the president was not in any danger. So the rules are that you must be separated by 1.5 miles horizontally, 500 feet vertically. And you may say, well, it looks like they're pretty far separated right there, and they're flying in opposite directions. Yes, but again, the rules are also that there should have been no commercial traffic when the president's chopper was about to take off, and controllers knew it was about to take off. And then separately, of course, this comes after, 18 months ago where you had that horrific crash here at Reagan National Airport involving a military chopper and a commercial plane, and 67 people were killed. And so because of that, they dramatically restricted all helicopter traffic in and around Reagan Airport. I think the way to characterize this is exactly as you said. They are looking at the safety incident, but there's no suggestion that the president was in danger, and there's no suggestion that the Marine One pilot did anything wrong. The question's going to be, why wasn't commercial air traffic stopped when Marine One was taking off?
Some really important context, especially given what did happen in D.C. airspace 18 months ago. Tom Costello with the latest for us. Thank you so much.
We thank you for watching, and remember—
Oh, you shut your mouth, Tom Llama.
Top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.
Just another thing we can root for, I guess. That one would be fun, though, because, it would be his cuts and his federal government's coming back to bite him in the ass. Be a fun way to go out. I ducked out early. I did not stay up for the final results. Apparently, it became a nail biter. It was like 3 points separating them when I tapped out. It got down to 1 point between them. Only 1 point is what separated Stevens and Al Sayed, but the win did eventually go to the DSA candidate.
This is an NBC News special report. I'm Steve Kornacki. American voters in 5 states hit the polls on Tuesday, and I've got some major results to share with you, starting in the state of Michigan, where Abdul El Sayed has won the Democratic primary for the United States Senate. He defeats Congresswoman Haley Stevens. This was a very close race here. You can see there are still a scattering of votes to be counted, but El Sayed currently leading Stevens by 2 points here. He will be the Democratic nominee this November, and he will face off against—
Yeah, I was up early enough to see the
primary unopposed tonight. Rogers,
victory speech.
Congressman, he ran for the United States Senate in this state against Alyssa Slotkin in 2024. He narrowly lost. He will be now facing off in his second Senate campaign against El Sayed. The backdrop of this race, which will be one of the most closely watched races this November, is that this is a state that Donald Trump won. It's a swing state. Trump
barely
by a point over Kamala Harris in 2024, and Democrats in nominating Abdul El Sayed, a candidate who was backed by Bernie Sanders, who ran on certainly a far-left progressive platform. Can a candidate as far to the left as El Sayed win a state like Michigan? We have seen a host of these left-wing candidates win primaries this year in deep blue districts, deep blue cities, where the general election is a foregone conclusion. It's not a foregone conclusion in Michigan. This will be a test. Can El Sayed, can his ideology win in a state that went for Donald Trump by a point? Other major races here tonight.
And I would say if he beats Rogers by 4 or 5 points,
Secretary of State, she will be the Democratic candidate for governor, and she will be facing off, trying to succeed two-term Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
That would be an indication that
against John James,
the leftist candidate that animates people,
Macomb County Republican who ran with the endorsement of Donald Trump, he wins
the way to go
tonight over Perry Johnson. It will be James. It will.
If you were not with me last night, I became very enamored with Jocelyn Benson. She gave a hell of a speech. I was mesmerized by her, and just as I was getting ready to say, oh, I think she won me over, she danced to Nelly Furtado off the stage, and I'm like, well, clearly I'm in love. APAC mommy.
Democratic candidate for governor, and she will be facing off, trying to succeed two-term Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who's not running for re-election. She will be facing off against John James. John James, a congressman from Macomb County, a Republican who ran with the endorsement of Donald Trump. He wins the Republican primary tonight over Perry Johnson. It will be James. It will be Benson. That will be the governor's race.
Danced off the stage to Nelly Furtado.
Significant result in Michigan's 7th district tonight here. William Lawrence.
This was a big one.
Progressive insurgent candidate winning the nomination in this, a swing district that Donald Trump carried by a point in 2024. Lawrence wins this primary tonight and will face off in the fall against freshman Republican Tom Barrett. This is a congressional district version of the question that's been raised about El Sayed in the Senate race. Can a candidate as far to the left as Lawrence win in a district that Donald Trump won by a point in 2024? So big, momentous results out of Michigan tonight that squarely put this state in the spotlight in November, both in terms of the Senate race, which will have massive implications for control of the United States Senate, and in this House race, which could have big complications, implications for control of the United States House of Representatives. Thank you for watching this special report, and more news is straight ahead on NBCNews.com, and a complete wrap-up.
Thought he would have done the Kansas race and shit, too. Al Sayed gave his victory speech this morning, 10-ish o'clock.
As bitter and as divisive and as cynical as the campaign against us might have been, I want us to realize that there is so much more that unites us now. Because the campaign that Mike Rogers and Donald Trump and their GOP MAGA allies are launching is already more bitter. All you got to do is look at the ads you're already watching on TV, started today. You know, they think that you want to use my whole name against me. Mike, listen, man, if you can't say the name, it's Abdurrahman, keep the name out your damn mouth. I'll be happy to give you lessons. But they understand that the only way that they think they can win is to drag us into the mud, to believe the worst about each other, to believe that what divides us is bigger than what unites us. They want us to think that the reason some of us ain't got is because of other people got. But it turns out that the reason so many of us ain't got is because of the system that has corrupted our politics to take it away from us. And that is the thing that we are taking on now. That movement to get money out of politics, put money in your pocket, pass Medicare for all, it is a big movement. So if you supported me or you did not support me, if you voted for Vice President Harris in 2024 or you voted for Donald Trump, if you believe like me that you ought to be able to afford your groceries, if you believe like me that you ought to be able to afford your home, if you believe like me that your tax dollars ought to be invested in you rather than sent somewhere else, if you believe like me that a government of the people, by the people, and for the people is our birthright in this country, if you believe like me that we have a responsibility to stand up and walk with our union so that everybody has collective bargaining rights in this country, if you believe like me that you ought to have the guarantee of good health care in this country without some corporation trying to tell you what you cannot have and should not fight for, I hope that you'll join this movement now.
He mentioned Rogers using his full name. This is apparently a Republican tactic that we got going on here. Up until this point, they have only referred to him as Abdul Al Sayed. Starting this morning, and I'm gonna butcher it. I'm so sorry. I should keep his name out my mouth. Abdul Rahman Mohammed Al Sayed is how they started referring to him, like they did Barack Hussein Obama. Just 1 month apart. Started pulling out the full name. And Al Sayed did a great job of turning it around on him yet again. He is so good. Like when Stevens tried to take him to task about being mean-spirited, and he was like, hey, I told everybody that it was rude to boo you with the Democratic convention. Oh, that was such a great line. But as many people pointed out, like, the Republicans are just going to go rank racism on them. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville. And I honestly think Al Sayed should sue him for this. Michigan Democrats just voted to send a terrorist to the Senate. He posted on Facebook 3 hours ago. Calling him a terrorist. I reported this to Facebook as false information. It clearly is. This is defamation 101. Tuberville not the only one. Senator Ted Cruz of Texas also coming after Al Sayed, also referring to him as a terrorist.
Now let's look at the Muslim Brotherhood Network today and its influence in the United States today. In fact, just yesterday, Abdul El-Sayed, the son-in-law of a leading member of several Brotherhood groups, won Michigan's Democrat primary for U.S. Senate. Perfect timing for this hearing. Probably explains why no Democrats are here and none intend to attend.
Look at this AI bullshit.
Because their campaign is now openly embracing terrorist organizations waging war on America. Behind El-Sayed's political rise sits a much older and more entrenched institutional network. At the center of this sprawling network is the Council on American Islamic Relations. CAIR was founded in 1994 by Brotherhood affiliates.
See, that's what he's talking about, Brotherhood groups.
And Nihad Awad,
the Council on American Islamic Relations.
Wiretaps at the 1993 Philadelphia meeting, where Brotherhood leaders plotted to undermine the Oslo peace process and rally broad support for Hamas in the States.
It is disgusting what they're doing. The motherfucker was born in Detroit. I don't think their attacks are going to work. Allow me to show you a voter from Michigan. This looks like your average white lady on the street.
I just wouldn't want a single of our family's tax-paying dollars to go towards something like that. It's like giving money to violence.
So would you support a Senate candidate, in this case Haley Stevens, who's more of a moderate like you tend to like, but would that be enough?
That would definitely turn me off as 100%. I couldn't. I would vote for a communist first. I just wouldn't want.
She's talking about money to Israel. She's talking about money to Israel, that she will vote for a communist first. Apparently she did. Or at least a DSA-backed candidate.
To go towards something like that. It's like giving money to violence.
So would you support a Senate candidate, in this case Haley Stevens, who's more of a moderate like you tend to like, but would that be enough?
That would definitely turn me off as 100%. I couldn't. I would vote for a communist first. I just wouldn't want a single of our family's tax-paying.
He's in one of his spicy moods right now. Why's your ear smell weird? Socialist on, thank you for the resub. Big Ben, anonymously. Ducky, Ponder Monkey, Sports Cards. Anybody else I miss? Clinically, my friend, good to see you. I got cat hair in my mouth now. Too much, Bubby. This Islamophobia going into the election gonna be off the charts. Oh, Big Ben, thank you for throwing out the gift sub. I appreciate you, my friend. Trump and now the New York Post has been spreading completely bogus claim that 9/11 families hate New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. They're citing a random change.org petition that has quickly gained traction among right-wing media and made it all the way to the White House. Donald Trump has bought into the unfounded rumor that the families of New York City's 9/11 victims don't want Mayor Zohran Mamdani at the tragedy's 25th anniversary ceremony in September. When asked about the conspiracy during a White House press conference Wednesday, oh, Ponder Monkey, thank you for throwing out the gift sub. White House press conference on Wednesday, Trump claimed that he understood, and this was last week, why there was pressure to keep Mamdani away from the event, telling a reporter that the victims' families were very unhappy with the mayor. I will tell you, the 9/11 victims' families, as far as I know, the one push that they have had consistently through the past 25 years has been to try to open up information about the Saudi Arabian involvement, the Saudi royal family's financing of the 9/11 attacks. And as I pointed out last week, Trump wanting to sign a treaty that would allow Saudi Arabia to develop nuclear ambition. Supposedly it's civilian use of nuclear capabilities. I don't know why the argument applies to Iran and not Saudi Arabia. Iran's never attacked us. Well, Iran hasn't attacked us in like 30 fucking years. Not really on our soil. Conspiracy appears to have come from a New York Post headline published on the Sunday edition's front paper that claimed thousands of 9/11 families wanted Mamdani banned from the ceremony. But that's not true. The Rupert Murdoch-owned paper cited a Change.org petition launched by Giovanni Galante as the origin point of the startling figure. But Galante, who lost his wife Grace Catherine Galante in the attacks, didn't have the signatures to back up that claim. The petition argued that Mamdani's reluctance to condemn the phrase "globalize the Intifada," which pro-Palestinian activists have used as a universal call for Palestinian liberation from Israeli occupation, should disqualify him from attendance, as it suggests he does not share American values with the victims' families. The petition has since accrued 42,000 verified signatures, though that simply means the electronic sign-offs were conducted by a person rather than a bot. It does not ensure that these signatures came from New Yorkers, let alone families of the nearly 3,000 people who died during the Al-Qaeda terrorist attack. In an interview with Popular Information, Galante said that no such list actually exists. Even the Post story contradicted its headline's wild claim, reporting that the petition had collected over 1,100 signatures in a little over a week. including at least 300 victims' families. But the Post interviewed just 3 sources who lost a family member during the attack and also signed the petition. It always takes like a half hour to explain why some right-wing lie is bullshit. Okay, this happened in Maui. But this man is running for Congress in Texas. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Let me get my sources straight. Maynard, shut up. Maybe he's a congressional candidate in Hawaii. I was thrown off. It was a Texas news source I was looking at. Everything's in this vertical format. Lenny, T-. Good evening, friends. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting the info straight on this. This was Kirill Basin. He's running for Congress in Hawaii's 2nd district. He got into a fight with somebody on the beach in Maui.
Oh, chair thrower.
And got knocked the fuck out.
We go. Hey, put your bag away, bro. Put your bag away. I told him if he wants to go to the hospital, come here. It is over.
It's over. You go home, man. All right? You go home. Yo.
Hey. You.
Hey. Not my drone.
You.
Not my drone, right? You're not talking about my dog, right?
I don't care.
Don't do that, dude. Don't do that.
What are you gonna do?
Go ahead. Just go.
What are you gonna do?
Go ahead.
Am I? I didn't put him in the ground. I didn't put him in the ground. I put you in the ground. I can't. All right.
Oh, you're gonna hit women now.
Oh god, this dude's talking mad shit.
Go ahead. Dude.
Right before he gets knocked out.
Do it, mother.
I just said it.
All right, good. It's over. It's over.
He's a child.
I'm a child. I'm 40 years old.
You should act like it then.
Bitch.
Dewey.
Oh, it falling over the lawn chairs is great.
Chair thrower.
Attempts to use a foreign object.
Wake up.
Gets knocked out.
Wake up. Yeah. What you about, Ollie boy? Yeah? Trey, stay right there. You done? You done?
You done?
I'm done.
Bro doesn't know where he's at.
I'm good. 200 nail. Hold on.
Oh, he's gonna go call the cops. I got some. Yeah, go narc, dude. After you got knocked the fuck out. He is running for Congress in Hawaii's 2nd district. He's got a bit of a bulge. Oh, he's coming back for more. There's no way.
Are you recording all this? Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping I started recording it.
Put him down again, man.
Just in case. Just in case, yeah. He was here the other day, too.
That was oh, man. I can't believe it cuts off there. I hope he got knocked the fuck out again. Hey, have you seen the jujitsu nurse? It's a dude, he's like, I can show it again. It's only like a minute long, but like, he's jujitsu trained. And yeah. And it's fucking amazing. He's telling them to get out of the ER for some reason, and they like throw a drink at him, and boom, they got put down. He just neutralized the guy. He took him down, and yeah. He just like it was straight up like hip toss, boom, neutralized, and then the security came and like the dude like puts him down like. Yeah, that's what it was. It was vagina ears. Yes, nurses have to put up with so much shit. It's horrible. Is that why you don't work in the ER? There's many reasons. We're gonna have a dab bong if you guys like to join us. Did you have roast yet? It still seemed like it needed an hour when I checked on it when I was texting you. Still needs a. I'm sorry I did not get around to cleaning your litter boxes today. I put the clothes in the wipe. I just finally assumed that the dishes in the dishwasher were clean. I hope they were. They had to have been, or you would have put the dirty dishes in and ran it. Because there were clean ones that hadn't been put up. I shouldn't have put them up. They looked really clean. No, she pre-washes everything, so everything's super clean when it goes in the dishwasher, so it's always impossible to tell if it's clean or not clean. But they looked incredibly clean. They had to have been clean. Smell the plastic. Feel the biscuit. I don't know why that made me think of that. Eat the biscuit. I don't remember what the words were. Taste the biscuit. You like? Flo, that's no. Oh, that stuff tastes so good. That bowl and over there. It's like a punch bowl. I don't even know what you had in it. Oh, it was that salad. You had that fucking cucumber salad. That's what was in it. Because I was looking at I don't even remember anything being in this. That's what she made because, we're still off the lettuce because apparently, we don't even know. There could be more things. It's berries. It's the cyclosporisis. 2 people have died now, and it's still going, and we don't even know. It could be more things. They think it could be berries and shit. Yeah, go to your local farmer's market. That's a good idea. But, lettuce isn't really grown in people's backyards, is it? Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was something that, needed to be a crop thing. Hey, Bagheera. What is your favorite kind of lettuce then, Lenny, since iceberg lettuce has little nutritional value? We like spinach and Curiouser says it's high water content, so it's hydrating. And you're usually having lettuce with other things. You're supplementing it with cucumbers and peppers and tomatoes and shit. You can get you a kale. You can get you a mix. I like a butter lettuce. Butter lettuce is good on burgers as well. I think it's underused. Most fast food restaurants do. And I like shredded lettuce. I like romaine too. Yeah, shredded lettuce on a burger is good, but it's usually messy. We're all hungry, aren't we? I probably should have left it on high all day. Oh, well, I mean, and I probably didn't even do it at 1. I probably did more 1:30. So it's only been in there. That's 5.5 hours. There's usually 6 to 8 for a roast like that. In chat, let me tell you, she told me to go in there and put in that roast. I got out a cutting board, I got an onion, some garlic, and I go to grab the carrots out of the fridge and realize she's got a whole bowl of everything just ready to dump in. I put garlic powder, but it didn't feel like. Well, I grabbed the garlic. Motherfucker, no. This is the thing is I'm the better cook. I will die on that hill. Tell me you can't trust me with shit. Thread's like, you can't trust you with shit. That's why she did it for you. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like, it's shy of the 6-hour mark right now, and she's really hungry now and wants to dig into it. I don't do math clinically. Cooking isn't math. Yeah, I don't fucking bake. I cook. Depends on what I'm cooking, whether I cook with mayo, butter, lard, olive oil, whatever it is. I would say you're right in most of the occasions on it, but like we're not searing anything and getting that's why it's in the crock pot. Cause it's a roast, like, cause I use my Dutch oven all the fucking time. This is a basic bitch pot roast. So apparently, concerns about fraud led Capital One to close all kinds of accounts for Trump.
Dive, we're taking a closer look at Capital One, who says it closed hundreds of bank accounts associated with President Trump and his businesses for what it calls, quote, anti-money laundering reasons. Capital One made the claim in a new court filing after the president sued, alleging the account closures in 2021 were unlawful and politically motivated. Lawyers for Capital One deny those allegations and say it never publicized the decision or its process. In a statement to ABC News, a spokesperson for the Trump Organization alleges Capital One was trying to manufacture a justification to close the account to, quote, conceal what was plainly a politically motivated decision following the January 6th attack on the Capitol here in the Washington, D.C. ABC's Peter Haralambos has been reporting on this and tracking this story for us. And
they didn't want to deal with you because you're a terrorist.
Here that the bank did not explicitly.
That was the political motivation
of money laundering. But can you walk us through this filing?
Yeah, that's right, Alex. At the end of the day here, Capital One is pushing to have this case thrown out. They've been partially successful in the past. For example, a few months ago, the judge threw out the case, the first version of the case that Trump filed. Trump refiled the case last month, And in this motion, Capital One is basically arguing that the reasons for the cancellation of those accounts, about 385 different accounts associated with Trump and his family's companies, was justified, that it was one of the agreed upon reasons that the Trumps agreed to when they signed up for those accounts. They say they did a months-long review by their anti-money laundering team. They flagged some suspicious elements related to those banks and notified the Trumps in March of 2021 that those accounts would be closed. They gave them time. They didn't disclose the fact that those accounts were being closed. They didn't disclose the reason, certainly. But now that they're fighting this lawsuit, Capital One saying they have to come out and basically justify this to convince the judge to dismiss this case.
You know, something else that I was trying to understand, months before the closure of these accounts, Capital One actually agreed to pay a penalty for failing to implement and maintain an effective anti-money laundering program. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and this might be part of the reason Capital One was exercising that scrutiny over Trump's accounts, because just months ahead of closing them, they had to pay a $390 million fine to the Financial Crimes Reporting Network because they didn't have a robust money laundering review program. Basically, a review of their own policies found that between 2008 and 2014, they failed to flag millions of dollars in suspicious transactions. They paid that fine. They agreed to implement a more robust program. And just months after
leftist, you know, whatever benefits a conservative is what they believe.
The closing of these accounts. The actual fine, the fact that they had to pay that penalty, was not included in the court.
They bitch and moan anytime a business does whatever they want against them.
Doing at the time.
Well, and the other thing, Peter, we know the president has filed a similar lawsuit against JP Chase. Where does that stand? And also, how is the bank responding?
Yeah, JP Morgan says that lawsuit's meritless. They're fighting to have it dismissed. But in that case, one thing that is notable is that they admitted, actually, pretty shortly after Trump filed the lawsuit, that they did cancel Trump's accounts, but they tried to justify them for what they said was legal and proper reasons. They say they frequently close accounts that pose, quote, legal or regulatory risk. Though this really comes as President Trump has really made a push to end what he has called the debanking of conservatives. He signed an executive order last year trying to clamp down on this, though we're beginning to see some negative side effects, perhaps, of these lawsuits. The president, of course, filing these lawsuits against companies like Capital One, against JP Morgan. He's filed one against the BBC. And as these cases move forward, the Trump organization, Trump and his families, have to disclose information as part of discovery. For example, last month we saw a judge order Trump to comply with a subpoena related to his own financial records. He now needs to turn that over related to that BBC lawsuit for defamation.
Very interesting. All right, Peter, thanks for breaking this down.
I think BBC's going to fight him. That's going to be fun. He'll end up wanting to drop it. I'll not want to go to Discovery on that one. Here's a Maynard. Hey, Maynard. Was it yesterday I told you about Representative Chuck Edwards? Maybe day before. He is the congressman accused of taking several of his staffers on personal days, buying them lavish gifts, sending sexually inappropriate texts. Bag comb over dude. Absolutely. Bag comb over dude. I'm glad you said that before I put this picture of him up. Amazing. He is dropping his re-election bid.
And who represents much of western North Carolina in the U.S. House says he will not seek re-election. Congressman Chuck Edwards faced mounting calls to drop out after a House ethics investigation found that he had inappropriate relationships with at least 2 different staffers. Chief political correspondent Andy Weber spoke with voters in Hendersonville about the scandal.
It's this extensive report from the House Ethics Committee that seemed to convince both voters here in Henderson County, as well as Chuck Edwards himself, that he should drop out of the race for North Carolina's 11th congressional district.
Obviously, the Ethics Committee found they were credible, and yeah, there's no place for that kind of behavior.
I'm really still researching it, but I'm leaning towards he probably should step out of the race.
Henderson County voters reacting Wednesday following this early morning post on X from U.S. Rep. Chuck Edwards. Edwards writing in part, quote, "After much prayer and reflection, I've decided to withdraw from my re-election campaign." His announcement coming just days after the release of this report from the House Ethics Committee, accusing Edwards of giving...
When they say that, do you think they've actually prayed? Like, do you believe them? Do you think they actually went into a room and got down on their knees and blah, 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 and silent reflection? Yeah, I don't know if I believe it either. It's just something they say, right?
Having 2 of his female staff
visited by a ghost,
taking them on lavish trips, and sending them messages in the middle of the night discussing personal and romantic thoughts. Edwards' office not providing additional comment on Wednesday, and no one was available for an interview at his district office in Hendersonville.
This is
it's code for I called my lawyer.
Anything like this
really North Carolina politics in a very long time.
Western Carolina professor Chris Cooper says now it's up to local Republican officials to find a replacement to face Democrat Jamie Ager in November.
Whoever enters this race is going to have a real fundraising deficit and perhaps a name recognition problem. One real benefit Chuck Edwards had, of course, was name recognition. Whoever it is not going to have that kind of recognition.
And party officials have about 10 days to consider a new appointment for this race. Because of that, Cooper expects to learn the name of the new candidate within the next week or so. Edwards, for his part, says he will serve out the remainder of his current term, set to expire in January. Reporting in Hendersonville, I'm Andy Weber, Queen City News.
Queen City News.
I think overall it's a good thing that this election cycle we're seeing some like shit bags get weeded out on both sides now. We've got Max Miller still running. I think the deadline is tomorrow for him. If he wants to drop his re-election bid, but he says he's staying in. Let him stay in. So before we go to CBS and Major Garrett, who has been the one shining light left at CBS, Major Garrett it has probably been a better reporter. Like, it's since Barry Weiss has taken over, he seems like he doesn't give a fuck anymore, and it's made him better. Before we watch Major Garrett on CBS, but this isn't CBS, the main channel. CBS News not airing 60 Minutes Jeffrey Epstein story under scrutiny. Senator Ron Wyden has questioned why a 60 Minutes interview with now former correspondent Shireen Alfonsi on Jeffrey Epstein's banking practices never aired, adding it had been suppressed. The Oregon Democrat raised the issue in a new Senate Finance Committee report published on August 4th, alleging Deutsche Bank failed to promptly disclose more than $250 million in suspicious Epstein-related transactions. It is disappointing that instead of advancing new facts that would help bring accountability to the men who participated in Epstein's trafficking operation, the report largely recycles allegations that have already been exhaustively examined by courts and the government, according to a spokesperson for J.P. Morgan Chase. As for comment, Wyden's office pointed Newsweek to a 61-page report where it says his taped interview with Alfonsi was intended for a broader 60-minute segment on banks and Epstein, adding that it is unclear whether CBS News leadership will allow the broader segment to air following Alfonsi's departure from the network. CBS News says the segment simply was not ready before the show's season ended. Pushing back against any suggestion that the interview was buried, a spokesperson for the network said in a statement shared with Newsweek via email, "We air pieces when they are ready, and suggesting that an interview is being suppressed for any reason is categorically false." According to Wyden's report, the investigation found significant evidence that J.P. Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank, and Bank of America violated federal anti-money laundering laws by failing to screen and report Epstein's suspicious financial transactions in a timely manner. Somebody financed him. Somebody kept him lubricated for over 10 years after he was convicted. The New Mexico Attorney General is suing the DOJ over their failure to cooperate in their investigation into Epstein and their withholding of files that were supposed to be released under the Epstein Transparency Act.
We here have spent a lot of time focused on New Mexico and the Epstein files because there's a lot of talk in Washington, but New Mexico is actually trying to figure things out to see if there's anything that's still prosecutable in this matter. And today it sued the Trump administration to obtain unredacted access to the Epstein files that have not been publicly disclosed. State's Attorney General Raul Torres says Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General and nominated to become full Attorney General, and the Justice Department, his word, stonewalling his investigation into Epstein and the focus there in New Mexico on Zorro Ranch, property just outside of Santa Fe. I want to welcome back New Mexico's Attorney General Raul Torres. So what is the nature of this lawsuit? What do you want? And why did you file it?
So, Major, it's been 173 days since we first asked for unrestricted and unredacted access to the complete Epstein files. We've made no fewer than 10 separate attempts, both at Main Justice, the Southern District of New York, even here in the District of New Mexico. And all we have received from the Department of Justice, despite public assurances of cooperation, is stonewalling and obstruction. And so fundamentally, we're asking for a district court judge to order the United States Department of Justice to grant us this access so that we can advance our ongoing criminal investigation into Jeffrey Epstein's conduct here in Zorro Ranch.
What do you believe is there that's relevant to the ranch and your investigation? For example, how many times do you think it's mentioned?
So we know from what is publicly available that Zorro Ranch is referenced over 13,000 times in the publicly available files that have been submitted and made available under the Epstein Transparency Act. The problem is that most of those records are either completely redacted or partially redacted. And so we are concerned that we won't be able to identify potential co-conspirators, witnesses, corroborating information, or any leads that may advance this investigation and bring us to a place where we might still be able to bring a prosecutable case here in the state of New Mexico.
When you talk to survivors, what do they believe that can be found there, and what leads do they believe can and should be pursued relevant specifically to Zorro Ranch?
Yeah, I've been very cautious with survivors because, I don't want to set expectations too high. They've been through too much and too much disappointment all these years. But one of the things that I know has frustrated them, including in DOJ's response today, DOJ responded to the lawsuit by saying that they can't turn this information over because they have to protect the privacy rights and interests of survivors. The survivors just put out a statement that says that's laughable, and it really is a disgraceful excuse to try and hide behind the privacy rights of survivors and use that as an excuse to not cooperate with our investigation. They know that we are working towards the possibility of building a case that is still viable and prosecutable. That's what they want. That's our commitment to them. And the longer we wait and delay from the Department of Justice, the more we are set back in terms of reaching that goal.
Mr. Attorney General, are you edging toward more strident language?
No, he's edging.
Cooperative?
Well, look, I'm a former federal prosecutor here in the state. What I can tell you is that
I can't believe Major said edging.
From the beginning is disgraceful. It is not in keeping with the norms and traditions and the norm practice. I think there is a cover-up to a certain extent that has been animated by the administration for reasons that I fully don't know the motivation. Or
I can tell you the reason. Trump's a pedophile.
Be much better off if they just, made it all transparent, made it available.
They can't because Trump's a pedophile.
I think it leads to a lack of trust, not only on the part of survivors, but on the part of the general public, that they have something to hide. But it really undermines faith and confidence in our judicial system, in our justice system, that we're going to be able to do this in a professional and competent and transparent manner.
Before I let you go, Mr. Attorney General, you said you do not want to set elevated expectations. You're not telling my audience that if you get access to this information, bang, there's going to be a prosecution.
No, I don't. As a prosecutor, we don't say that in any case, under any circumstances, because I've been doing this work far too long. What I do know is that there's relevant information that would be helpful for my investigators and my prosecutors, both to advance existing theories and ideas about how we might bring up
Well, I think more people should say it on national TV.
that until we test that evidence, until we see that evidence. And so it's essential for people to understand that this is gaining access to this is necessary, but it doesn't guarantee that there's going to be a prosecution. But what I can tell you is that we can't complete this work if we don't have the cooperation of federal law enforcement agencies and the acting Attorney General of the United States.
New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres. Mr. Attorney General, pleasure. Thank you, sir.
I think New Mexico is the key. If we get anywhere in any sort of justice, it's going to come through New Mexico. Okay, let me hit the content warning. First couple of stories dealing with social media influencers. The first one is a Mexican TikToker apparently gunned down.
Federal authorities in Mexico are investigating the murder of an influencer who was shot and killed yesterday in an area battling cartel violence. Cesar Gastelum was in front of a fast food restaurant in the city of Culiacan. Federal investigators are poring over surveillance video trying to find those responsible. They are also looking into whether Gastelum's shooting was connected to recent posts on social media about some members of a criminal group.
And then the other one, I can't show you video. You would have to go into the deep reaches of the internet to see the video at this point. I saw it on X. X has now removed it. I don't know what to tell you. Probably don't want to watch it. I assume possibly it had something to do with the Ariana Grande video that dropped 4 or 5 days ago. Perhaps you guys saw it. She ends up covered in blood in it. He is a longtime pop culture influencer, commentator, whatever you want to call it. Perez Hilton made a video where he appears to be covered in blood. I don't know if it is real blood, his blood. It could have been staged. He has some sort of a knife. He was playing with his little pud. He had his limp fucking dick and was pulling on it. Rubs the knife on it, rubs the knife on his body. It was very disturbing. They sent the cops to his house, and he's apparently being treated at a hospital now.
New details just into the newsroom on celebrity gossip blogger Perez Hilton. His family is responding following his disturbing social media post. We are not showing you the video because it is so disturbing. He was live.
I'm not showing the video because it's so disturbing. I can't show I would. But I couldn't get away with it on any platform whatsoever. It's so weird. But if I can't show it, they're definitely not able to show it.
social media post. We are not showing you the video because it is so disturbing. He was live streaming to TikTok from his home in Miami while holding a knife with his face and body covered in blood. His family released a statement just a short time ago saying Hilton is receiving medical care right now and says they are, quote, incredibly grateful for the overwhelming outpouring of love, support, and prayers, end quote. Hilton's social media has since been taken down. If you or someone you know is going through a mental health crisis, you can call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988 or chat with someone at 988lifeline.org. You can get help 24 hours a day and in multiple languages.
So I'm hoping it was something staged and he didn't actually hurt himself. And now he's getting the help that he needs. It was clearly an episode of some sorts, but I hope it wasn't what it appeared to be on camera. I hope that was fake. This is the 911 call.
3 suicide attempt. 2252.
So they are responding to it as a potential suicide attempt.
3 car received. PD is requesting fire rescue return to standby at. Rescue 13 available. Rescue 13 available. 2253 Dade County. Engine 47. Engine 47, go ahead. Where do you have Rescue 3 going? Rescue 3, it seems PD is requesting fire rescue return to the previous call. Copy, is it That's affirmative.
So he said previous call. I think they went and
With Rescue 3.
and left after they realized nobody else was in danger other than himself. That's what led me to believe it might have been staged.
Engine 12, AMR is at the southeast gate. Would somebody be able to open it for them? That's affirmative.
They apparently went back.
Going over there shortly. Copy that. I'll tell them to stand by. Copy, thank you. Engine 47.
47, go ahead.
Copy. Can you confirm with PD if Rescue 3 and myself, Engine 47, were supposed to stay somewhere or report directly to the scene? It was an active police scene earlier.
I copy that. They are advising to stand by at Engine 47.
Engine 47, copy. Rescue 3 and Engine 47 to make an entry into the house with police.
Rescue 3, copy. Send to the Suicide County.
We didn't learn anything from that. That gave us no information whatsoever. I don't particularly care for the guy. I ain't got any beef with him, I guess. He always just seemed kind of like annoying. Wasn't he on E for a little bit, perhaps? People, welcome in. What? Okay. What's the deal with everybody going to Turkey for hair implants? Why is that a thing? Can someone explain that one to me? Okay, it's cheaper. Are they good at it, though? Same reason you go to Brazil for a booty lift. I don't know. I find booty lifts off-putting. You can get good food poisoning there. Interesting. Did you go to Istanbul? Constantinople. Well, you can't go back to Constantinople. I'm sorry. Oh, until Joe, I say hi. Anonymously, good evening. See, lax standards. That's why are rich people going and getting hair transplants at a place that has lax standards? Princess Kimberly, I don't think I told you good evening. I just don't I'm not going anywhere that has lax standards. I would rather pay more. You can't get hair transplants in the U.S.? I just know, like, there was a wrestler and he went to Turkey and they made a thing out of it. Like, they made a storyline out of him going to Turkey to get hair. And I'm apparently going to Turkey is a thing. You can't go to Mexico? MJF. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the former AEW champion. I was very bummed the other night when he lost to Kenny Omega. All right, we just got a little bit of news to do. A little bit of news. Get through this. I'm tired from last night. Oh, Holiday had to... You sick motherfucker. Nobody needs to watch the video that Holiday posted in the chat, but if you do want to watch the video, Holiday went and found it. As I said, you need to go to the deep recesses of the internet to find it. If you weren't here earlier, I would do a hair transplant. I should probably get on that. We've come a long way on hair transplants, baby. If you weren't here with us earlier, clearly Trump has done something to his hair. It was Warlord came in saying he had some sort of transplant or a toupee on. I'm like, no way. Nope, he totally did. They thickened it up somehow. Let's go to... We're going to Missouri. Not a real state either. Grandpa doesn't recognize Missouri. Torchy, I don't think I told you good evening. A clown is now in custody.
The clown caught on Ring cameras frightening neighbors is now at the center of a homicide investigation. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Kelly Jackson. Tonight, Illinois State Police say the person in the clown costume is a 15-year-old boy suspected in a homicide last night in East St. Louis. 5 on your side's Regan Detrolio joins us live at the East St. Louis Police Department.
Kelly and Mike, neighbors tell me it was such a shocking and scary experience to see the clown on their doorsteps and then learn that he's a homicide suspect.
I'm looking for you.
Imagine someone knocking on your front door in the middle of the night dressed in a clown costume. That's what happened to Lee Palmer's mom Monday night.
I'm thinking he's finna kill everybody in the house the way he came. They were scared, like stuff like this ain't never happened.
You said you saw him with a big knife?
Well, and he's just twirling it. Just twirling it like it's like a toy knife.
Neighbor Corinne Spry was sitting on her back porch with her son and husband when she saw the homicide suspect going door to door Monday evening around 9 o'clock.
So he starts peeking in their window, and then he leaves from around the front porch and then goes around to the back. What if he was just crazy enough to, I'll just murder this whole family sitting outside.
Spry says the suspect in the clown costume roamed around her East St. Louis neighborhood for about 45 minutes before she saw police show up.
He was up to no good. We're pretty sure that he circled back around in these woods because you could hear like the sticks like breaking.
Illinois State Police say they recovered a body near 76th and State Streets around 10 o'clock Monday night. Neighbors say the body was laying in the middle of the road in front of this bus stop. Police have not yet said how the person was killed.
It could have been any
Apparently by a clown.
Wants to go on like a rampage or something and try to murder this whole street. That's also just another thought that came to my head that scares me because I have a child.
The person in this clown costume is now in custody, being identified as a 15-year-old teenager.
And wherever he is, please get him some help, please. And because he wasn't in the right state of mind to walk on somebody's porch like that, for real. It's just unimaginable.
Palmer says he's just relieved his mom didn't open the front door because she could have become a victim herself.
Some of them live alone, and like my mother, she kind of older, you know what I'm saying?
If you have any more information or surveillance video of the suspect,
If you're down with the clown,
State Police right away. That number's up.
make sure you call the state police.
806-7611. We also have all that info at this story on KSDK.com if you missed it. Reporting live in East St. Louis, I'm Reagan DeTrolio, 5 on your side.
Surely I got a juggalo I made jiggle. Surely I got a juggalo I made jiggle. Surely I got a juggalo I made giggle in the chat. It's still early on this one, so I don't think we have a lot of information. You jiggle when you giggle. Can't sleep, clown will eat me. This is in Caswell County, North Carolina. We have multiple people shot inside of a home. Audio on this. Not telling us anything, but they've got multiple evidence markers. This was the press conference taking place just 2 hours ago. 3 people killed, 1 hurt.
We're breaking into programming right now for breaking news out of Caswell County. Investigators are about to provide an update on what the SBI calls a mass shooting. Let's listen in.
On Brooks Road today in Caswell County.
Well, it's just another day.
Brooks Road today in Caswell County.
North Carolina.
Responded to a call for service just before 8 a.m. today at 352 Brooks Road in Prospect Hill. Deputies arrived on scene, found multiple people who had been shot. I can confirm 4 people were shot. Three of them are deceased. 1 person was transported to Duke University Hospital with gunshot wounds, and we do not have a condition. Caswell County Sheriff's Office immediately requested the assistance of the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, SBI. Scene investigators are on scene processing evidence and conducting interviews. There is no threat to the general public, and the event is contained to the above address. The Caswell County Sheriff's Office has notified victims next of kin. We are not
beautiful area.
Those names at this time out of respect for the family. The Caswell County Sheriff's Office is the lead agency in this case. They are assisted by the SBI, the North Carolina State.
We're seeing a lot of people snapping and killing their entire families. This seems to possibly be the same kind of scenario. We don't have details, but I'm just judging by the house.
Patrol, the Prospect Hill
area,
Fire Department, the Caswell County EMS, Caswell County Emergency Management, Caswell County 911, and the Person County Sheriff's Office. Additional information will
a
be
family murder suicide, which
through press release.
Seems to be on the uptick, but that's just anecdotally on me reporting on this shit every night.
Thank you.
They have some sort of greenhouse behind the house.
As much as I can.
Is this a domestic situation? What can you share with us?
Yeah, that's the question.
All the people that were involved in the victims.
All the members were in the same family.
Yeah, so it's some sort of murder-suicide shit.
Just debunk it, that this family or someone in this area had called previously about this. Can you confirm or deny that, or did someone go to the police station, about
I cannot confirm that, but I can, and I don't want to deny it out of respect for the family, but we do not have any evidence that this family had reached out to the Caswell County Sheriff's Office.
Sure. Do we know if the suspect is among the deceased?
The suspect is among the deceased.
Can we know ages of the people that died? Were there children involved?
All victims were adults.
Can you share when exactly deputies received the call about a disturbance?
All victims were adults.
A little bit before.
The suspect was among the deceased.
Before 8 o'clock.
We're being told that the incident took place around the house, not necessarily inside the house, and that the victims were actually outside when law enforcement arrived. What can you tell us about that, Sheriff?
Yes, sir.
I mean, really nice house, greenhouse in the back.
It's under investigation at this time.
As it relates to the person, the suspect,
Huge plot of land.
It happened at the address.
Picturesque area. Look at that fucking backyard.
My understanding, again, talking to some folks, is that the suspect did not live in that area, or does not live in this area. He did not live at that home. He doesn't even live in the neighborhood. What can you tell us about that? And he actually showed up at this house at 8 o'clock this morning, either driving there or somehow getting there. Does not live there. Can you tell us?
Well, all I can tell you now is that is still under investigation. It might have been found out exactly where he lived at, but right now we still in investigative stage, and all that will come out later.
Sheriff, what is your message tonight to the community?
All right, so mass shooting in North Carolina. Appears to be some sort of domestic situation. Gonna go to the Bronx. Or at least 5 people have been injured in a building fire. I hope they have it under control. This happened this is from about 5 hours ago.
Good afternoon to I'm Liz Cho in the Eyewitness Newsroom, and we are following some breaking news right now coming out of the Bronx. A 5-alarm fire is burning in an apartment building. This is happening in the Norwood section, and there are some injuries to tell you about. We're going to show you a live look.
At least 10 people injured.
On East 209th Street, as crews are now just starting to get the upper hand. You can see all of that smoke right there. At least 5 people are hurt. And 2 of those injuries, we understand, are critical. The FDNY first responding to reports of some kind of explosion. That was shortly after 12:30 this afternoon. And for the next 45 minutes afterwards, heavy flames.
We do have one confirmed death.
Building. At this point, we do not have a cause of the fire, although we do expect to hear from members of the FDNY again. There are at least 5 total injuries at this point, and 2 people are in critical condition. Several others have also been.
They apparently found somebody dead inside.
Updated here on the air and at ABC7NY, where we will stream any FDNY.
So I believe they have it under control, but the situation's still ongoing. I'm going to give you an update. This is posted by that same ABC station just in the last half hour.
First, we continue to follow breaking news. A powerful explosion and a stubborn fire in an apartment building in the Bronx. 1 person is dead, 14 others are injured, including several firefighters, and the fire is still not under control.
All I heard was a boom.
Oh, not under control. Sorry.
I got up the bed. I'm telling my son, what is that?
And good evening to you. At 6 o'clock, I'm Liz Cho. The FDNY says the explosion and the intense flames created a dangerous situation. Firefighters had to rescue several residents from inside the building. As we mentioned, 1 person is dead, 14 people are injured, and 2 of them are in critical condition. Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim is live in Norwood with our lead story tonight. Stefan.
Well, Liz, more than 5 hours after this explosion, you can see firefighters are still here on scene. And about a half an hour ago, rescue teams discovered 1 person dead inside the building. No details yet on the gender or...
They've gone in. It doesn't look like it's smoldering.
Inside as we speak. Meanwhile, in the past hour or so, firefighters have been hitting it from the top floors, working their way up and down. Smoke still filling the street, making it hard to see and breathe. Fire officials say this explosion blew hinges off the doors and window frames across the street. That allowed the fire to spread into the hallways and up the stairwells. It started on the 2nd floor, but eventually caused a collapse on the 2nd and 3rd floors. An unusual and dangerous situation for firefighters and rescue teams, they say. That's the building. This building here on fire has been raging now. This is about 12:30 this afternoon. A 5-alarm fire, a 5-story building. Residents nearby say they heard a big boom and that it felt like an earthquake. This is 209 East 209th Street in the Norwood section of the Bronx. The man who lives right next door to the unit that exploded says his ceiling collapsed on top of him. He helped that woman who lives there get to safety, but then went back inside to see if she had pets in there, and he says her kitchen was up in flames.
We helped her come downstairs, and we brought her to Parkside because they told us the ambulance was over there. She wasn't talking.
She was awake?
She was like in shock.
I was coming down to take my kids out to daycare, and we all hear the boom.
No lie, it sounded like they hit our block with dynamite.
It blew out window frames. It blew some of them across the street. And when our members got up to the 2nd floor, some of the apartment doors had been blown off the hinges as well.
This was a very difficult fire on a very hot and humid day. We had multiple people that needed to be rescued out of the building. Our
Usually we would guess gas somehow.
Multiple examples of heroism.
Now, more than 300 FDNY members are here on scene. Again, 1 person is dead. 2 residents are in critical condition. 2 suffered serious injuries. 4 suffered minor injuries. 3 firefighters suffered serious injuries, and 3 more firefighters suffered minor injuries. At this point, investigators do not know what caused the explosion, but Con Edison has shut off the gas. Reporting live in the Bronx, Stefan Kim, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Shutting off the gas could just be a precaution, not necessarily an indication that it was a gas-related explosion. That would be my first guess. I guess those were talking about fire. Hearts go out to our friends in Spokane, Washington. Still raging out of control. Hard to cover everybody. The entire north part of our country, all up and down Canada, still on fire. Texas reporting wildfires. New Mexico reporting wildfires. I can't really, it's hard for me to be able to cover everything. Forgive me. but Spokane specifically hit incredibly hard with wildfires.
Tonight, firefighters in Spokane, Washington are making progress. They've been fighting wildfires for days, but now cooler weather is giving them a little bit of help. Still, thousands of people are still being told to stay away from their homes. The fires have destroyed 850 buildings. KVU's Allison Martinez is in Spokane and shows us how a new disaster assistance center will help with the long recovery ahead.
It's summer break at Shadle Park High School. A campus that should be quiet is booming. This week, the campus is a safe haven from what many are calling a war zone. Sandy Gisa is one of many people forced to evacuate their homes.
I didn't grab anything because I really didn't think I was going to be evacuated.
Her home is still standing, but she knows her neighborhood will never be the same. It's why she's staying busy at Shadle Park, helping victims find food and clothing.
Yeah, it's been very, very emotional, but makes your heart just feel so good and these bags, they keep coming in. They just keep coming in.
Tomorrow, Shadle Park High School will take on a new identity as a disaster assistance center for fire victims. County leaders say you'll have to find the resources that fit your needs, but there is one thing every fire victim should do if their goal is financial assistance.
Please make sure that you stop and you talk to the recovery group folks, because they will be the formal intake for all of our impacted households.
For those whose homes are still standing, the main concern is returning. Sheriff John Knowles says it's a point of contention for many, but one we should start to accept.
I will say up front, to manage expectations, we are not going to be downgrading these zones in any large way for many, many more days to come.
Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown asks for patience, saying many homes will be okay.
When the time comes, some of you are going to be returning to your neighborhoods and everything will be fine. But it breaks my heart to say that will not be the case for everyone.
For now, the hallways of Shadle Park are filled not with students, but with people like Sandy, helping people. The road to recovery.
Oh God, I hadn't even thought about that flow.
This can be your first stop.
Being a blue state might hamper the ability for the Trump administration to dole out funds. Ugh. Let's go to Boston. Truck driver now safe after hitting a bunch of utility poles and getting stuck.
Oh, Jessica, this is a mess. This is the look at that pole right up there. We were told by this company that the driver actually snagged a.
I don't think that's the first time that reporter has said, "Look at that pole." Oh, Jessica.
Oh, Jessica, this is a mess. This is the concrete truck behind us here. Look at that pole right up there. We were told by this company that the driver actually snagged a low-hanging wire in the street. That then grabbed the pole, and you can see where it was in the ground here, just snapped it right off. So now that
goddamn,
the driver thankfully stayed inside until utility crews could get here. You can see he is
wow.
Right now they don't want to talk about what happened, but he's back in there. The power is off. He is safe. Thankfully, they got the
truck number 419. You got a minute? Okay. How did he get it caught? Like, I can totally see that being it, because those power poles, that it is hard to like break one off like that. We've got to have Ring camera. You would think the wire would come loose before it would snag the pole like that.
snagged a low-hanging wire in the street. That then grabbed the pole, and you can see where it was in the ground here, just snapped it right off.
Shit.
So now that pole is above the truck. The driver thankfully stayed inside until utility crews could get here. You can see he is still in the truck right now. They don't want to talk about what happened, but he's back in there. The power is off. He is safe. Thankfully, they got the electricity here turned off, but because he snagged that wire, that pulled down poles here on LaGrange. You can see that pole there toppled over, and then over to the right, another pole down. You can see some utility crews here responding. This, of course, knocked out power to the
that's a headache.
People without power right now. Of course, it's a hot day. People want their air conditioning. This has been going on for a few hours, but you do see utility crews here trying to take care of the problem, but there are a lot of tangled wires here, so it's going to take some time for this power to be restored. I'm looking around the house. There's still no power here as utility crews respond, try to repair these wires, but thankfully, no one's seriously hurt. We're live in West Roxbury. John Atwater, WCVB News Center 5.
This is why we should bury the wires. Absolutely. Would help during storms, which are becoming more and more likely, more and more powerful. Heading down to Florida, and I believe power lines play a factor in this. We've got a small aircraft threading the needle here in order to land on a Florida highway.
The 10th air traffic control audio as a small plane lost power and made that emergency landing on I-10 in Pensacola. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office saying the pilot reported mechanical trouble in the air.
She was then forced to put the plane down on the interstate yesterday. Deputies say no one was hurt. Our Claudia Nichols has the moment-by-moment account from the cockpit.
Quite the situation, Claudia. The air traffic control audio makes it clear how quickly this all happened.
It really does, Lenise and Cameron. In the recording, you hear a 21-year-old flight instructor calmly report a mechanical failure, even as the situation grows more dangerous. Within minutes,
I think it's not the avoiding the traffic, it's the avoiding the giant structure. What would you call it? The scaffolding that holds the signs up. Like, watch this video.
Realizes she may not make it back to the airport.
We're going to keep it high for now, but we do now have burning oil smell in the cockpit.
Those are the words of Emily Shelton, a 21-year-old flight instructor flying this plane over Pensacola with a student pilot on board. While still in the air, Shelton alerted air traffic control to a serious mechanical problem.
Burning oil smell? Yeah, our oil pressure is dropping down into the red, and we do have fumes in the cockpit from the oil.
Moments later, Shelton realized
Did you see that?
Did not have enough power to reach the airport.
We would like to go ahead and declare an emergency for 622 is losing our engine. I don't know if we're going to make the airport.
With the engine
and she's very calm.
Filling the cockpit, Shelton makes a split-second decision.
We're completely propped up moving. We're probably going down on I-10.
Roger. It's at your discretion, safest possible spot. We'll get the vehicles out for you.
Yeah, we are not making the airport. We're going down on I-10.
This truck driver's dash camera captures the critical moments as Shelton lines up for an emergency landing on the interstate.
I'll let you know we are lined up with I-10 trying to avoid the cars.
Get everybody over there as fast as they can to help you out.
Deputies rush to the scene as the plane touched down on the highway.
It was such a near miss, and she did such an amazing job keeping everybody safe. You realize how close and how dangerous it actually was.
Nicole Gill says Shelton is her son's girlfriend, and they're both pilots with a deep passion for aviation. Gill says Shelton's composure during the incident stood out.
They train for these emergencies, and it's almost like they compartmentalize in a way where the emotions just go down. Like the emotions are packed down.
Balls the size of watermelons, indeed.
One of the most stunning moments in the dashcam video is when Shelton takes the plane under an interstate sign, threading a narrow path between traffic and the overhead structure.
Had she come in over top of it, she very likely could have ended up in a place where she's in traffic versus that very small gap that she actually had to get over that truck but under the sign, and then also not overtake the cars in front of her. Like it's just amazing that she was able to keep that plane under control.
The smoke
gets in there and you can't breathe. So time is a critical factor on something like that. They did a great job getting it down quick.
Former Army pilot Tommy Lee says the smoke and fumes inside the plane made time a critical factor. Lee is an active pilot with the Monroeville-based nonprofit Pilots for Christ, and he has years of experience providing free air transportation to patients with life-threatening illnesses and their families. He says Shelton's response is a powerful example of why emergency training matters.
Well, anytime there's an emergency, they teach you two things, is fly the plane and grab the checklist. So I guarantee you that's what was going on in the cockpit.
Gill says she's spoken with Shelton a few times since the incident, and she's in good spirits.
She's ready to get back up there.
Well, Gill says Shelton is working as a flight instructor to build her hours as she works to become a pilot for a regional airline. The federal
I think she's an amazing flight instructor.
Investigating the emergency landing. Lanice, Cameron.
You hear it in the audio, she almost laughs. She almost like has a giggle about like, we're going down. Like, damn. Balls of steel indeed. 21 years old. Bravo, amazing young lady. That's how you don't crash into a celestial body. Unlike SpaceX, which apparently crashed a goddamn rocket into our fucking moon. I'm not bullshitting you. SpaceX just crashed a fucking rocket into our moon.
There's no doubt in my mind that much loved January 2025 Falcon 9 upper stage that we've been tracking all these months is now in teeny little pieces scattered over the surface of the moon near Einstein crater. The Falcon 9 rocket had done its job within a few hours of launch. Back in January 2025, batteries ran out. It's been a dead hunk of 4 tons of metal ever since, just orbiting under gravity. I would imagine that the US Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which is a huge spy camera in low orbit around the moon, will eventually spot a mark on the moon where the rocket hit. And so if you want visual confirmation that it really did hit, then yes, we'll have to wait for something like the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter to send us pictures. But, you know, as a physicist, I know that what goes up must come down. and the fact that we saw it heading at thousands of miles an hour toward the moon yesterday, I don't think there was any way it can dodge, right? So we're very confident that it did in fact hit.
Okay. If you aren't aware, junk in space is a really big problem, and it's something we're gonna have to deal with. 'Cause you can go look at pictures. Let me pull them up. It's pretty fucking wild. And apparently Elon is just happy to fucking exponentially make the problem worse. Excellent diagram I've got here for you. That's what our space junk looks like. You can see back in the 1960s we first started putting satellites out into orbit. This is a really big problem because that shit can hit other satellites and knock things out that we really need. It can hit the International Space Station. It can hit aircrafts that we send into space. It can fall back into the ocean or on our land. It can land on the fucking moon. Yes, the smallest thing can damage a spacecraft. And we've just got gigantic hunks of metal in orbit around us that we've just thrown up there. And Elon has contributed to a lot of this. It's not just Elon. But SpaceX has been shooting shit up into space. Like non-fucking stop. This is above my pay grade, but this feels like something somebody needs to deal with. It's been dead. I don't think I told you good evening. This old. Welcome in, friend. Bunch of magnets to clean up the space junk. There we go. Magnets. How do they work? Oh my god. T-minus filling up his big rig. 1,500. 15 fucking hundred. My god, man. We're going to Memphis, where a reporter found a story incredibly boring, apparently.
Just running 465 miles in a matter of days to make all of this happen.
Let's turn to the forecast. We have a heat advisory for parts of northwest Mississippi this morning.
I heard the floor director give her a cue.
Meteorologist Brittany DeBoe, she shares more. You look like a
Just running 465 miles in a matter of days to make all of this happen.
Let's turn to the forecast. We have a heat advisory for parts of northwest Mississippi this morning.
Crack the weather girl up.
Meteorologist Brittany DeBoe, she shares more.
You look like a perfect little angel taking a little nap. All right, so outside we are dealing with some spotty showers on radar across the Mid-South. Have that rain chance.
Oh, absolutely. I've fallen asleep in a TV studio before.
30% chance for rain tomorrow, 93 with a lower.
And to be fair, I'd been doing Molly that weekend.
Expected by the weekend. The full forecast for you in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, Sleeping Beauty over here.
Yeah.
Sunshine Snaps. We love your photos that you sent in.
Yeah, this one is from Jamara.
Wow.
Look at her in Florida.
That's nice.
Sleeping Beauty over here.
Kind of makes you want to take a nap.
I wasn't napping. There was something in my eye, obviously.
Obviously.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Yeah, Jamara, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
Keep it up. Keep it up.
That's strong.
She has a great eye. If you have a photo you'd like to send in, just email us at
I don't believe her. No. I believe you fell asleep, ma'am. Usually, see, I'm used to, usually the two anchors are cutting up, but it could have been like the morning show. I think it was the morning show, wasn't it? They're fucking up at 5 in the morning. I don't envy them. Yeah, I did the evening news, and like the two anchors would be like fucking ragging on each other the whole time. I have no idea how this happened, but apparently capybaras got loose in the Brazilian legislature.
Pra lá. Não pode.
Well, yeah, but how'd they get in there? Who let them in? Do they have claws? I bet they certainly have claws, right? Oh no, that can't be all. How'd they get in there?
Pra lá. Não pode.
So they apparently do it often. So there is a park right next to their Capitol building. A staffer said they show up here quite often. We've gotten used to seeing them. Capybaras have surged in global popularity online due to their remarkably calm demeanor and highly social nature. The semi-aquatic animals thrive near rivers, lakes, and wetlands, often living in groups and growing to weigh up to 80 kilograms. That's 170 pounds for you Americans. Their visit caused no damage to the Mato Grosso state legislature. Oh, I don't call him a rodent. Rodent has a negative connotation, doesn't it? And it's probably like an actual... It's the actual term for them.
Pra lá.
But it has such a negative connotation.
Não pode.
What is a rodent? A group of mammals. Rodentia. Make up about 40% of all mammal species. Includes the beaver, the capybara, the rat, the mouse, the guinea pig, squirrels, prairie dogs, porcupines, beavers. A good rat burger.
Pra lá. Não pode.
I assume that's the Brazilian staffer talking to him. I might take tomorrow off. I'm pretty wore out after the election last night. I'm gonna raid into Wick because I was fucking ragging on him earlier today, telling him how shitty his AI thumbnail looked, called him ugly. Does not follow me. Yeah, bitch.
Pra lá. Não pode.
Tell him how much he sucks. I'm such a troll.